Did you know a non-contact voltage detector can give you the all clear on a cable that's still live? These tools never touch the metal. They read the electric field around the conductor by capacitive coupling, and your body acts as the earth reference that completes the circuit. That's why a metal conduit can leave you with no warning at all, and why some models scream their heads off over an induced voltage that means nothing. The difference comes down to the threshold, the tip, and how the tool talks to you. These 7 are the best you can get hold of in Europe right now, and every link is in the description. Let's dive in. We start with the Venlab VD200, which behaves less like a pen and more like a pocket diagnostic station. It gives you 2 switchable ranges, a standard 48 to 1000 volts for normal installation work, and a high sensitivity mode from 12 volts for thermostats, telecoms, and low voltage lighting. On top, you get a backlit LCD, a laser pointer, a torch, and a housing-rated CAT3 at 1000 volts and CAT4 at 600. One design touch I really rate: it always boots into low sensitivity, so it doesn't shriek the moment you pull it out of your pocket. It earns its keep on big, tangled installations. You pull onto a campsite pitch with the caravan, there's no power inside, and instead of guessing you work through it, the supply bollard, then the extension lead, then the vehicle inlet. 3 checks and you know where the break is, with no electrical training whatsoever. The laser is brilliant for pointing out cable runs across high ceilings. Push it into high sensitivity mode inside a consumer unit stuffed with cable looms, and it does get overwhelmed, but that's exactly what the button is for. Now, if what you're short of isn't information but functions in the same hand, the Kaiweets ST10 rewrites the rules. This one is an unashamed hybrid of inductive detector and multimeter. It senses without contact, but also deploys proper test probes and measures AC and DC up to 600 volts, resistance, capacitance, diodes, continuity, and phase sequence. Everything runs in auto mode, so the chip works out what you're measuring and paints it onto the color screen for you. This is the tool for the HVAC engineer, the lift installer, and anyone climbing to awkward places all day. Think about an air conditioning unit on the roof of a commercial building. Hauling a full-size bench meter up there is a nuisance, while this slides into a shirt pocket and lets you confirm supply at the motor and measure the start capacitor. Against the Venlab, you trade the laser and the tough build for real measurement ability, which for fault finding is a different game entirely. Auto mode takes a couple of seconds to decide what it's looking at, so racing through continuity checks on a board calls for a slower hand. The feature nobody expects is phase sequence. Commissioning 3 phase motors or pumps, confirming rotation before you press, start saves you a very expensive afternoon. The next one plays in a different league. The Bosch GVD1017 is the tank of this group. 24 to 1000 volts, an IP67 rating that makes it sealed against fine site dust and fully submersible, and Cat4 at 1000 volts, the strictest classification going. It warns you 3 ways at once: sound, a traffic light color code, and a vibration motor in the grip. And that's precisely the point. In a generator room, you've got ear defenders on all day, and the beep of an ordinary detector simply doesn't exist for you. This one puts the alert straight into your hand, so you catch it even when you're looking somewhere else. The color system is equally smart. Steady green means the tool is alive and there's nothing there. Amber for low voltage, red plus vibration when the 230 volts turns up. It's superb how little thinking it demands. It's chunkier than a classic pen, and the price rules out an impulse buy. Though if your day involves water, dust, and noise, that toughness pays for itself. And here comes the one that breaks the pattern, because its greatest strength looks exactly like a flaw. The PeakTech 1030 runs against the entire market. It only picks up AC from 50 volts upward, with no high sensitivity mode and no menus. Twin molded housing with reinforced insulation, a torch, light, and sound alerts. Cat3 at 1000 volts and Cat4 at 600. That's your lot. So why is that good? Because when you open a junction box in an old building with 20 cables running through it, an ultra-sensitive detector says the whole box is live and does you no good at all. This one ignores anything below 50 volts by design, so the cable it flags is the cable you're after, and labeling a distribution board stops being guesswork. The probe tip is also genuinely slim, which matters enormously across Europe. Schuko sockets are deep, and detectors with thick necks never reach the contacts. For 24-volt thermostats or smart home wiring, it isn't your tool, but for 230-volt installation work, it's about the most reassuring thing you'll find, at a bargain price. With the Fluke 2 AC, we swing to the opposite philosophy. There's no switch. It runs permanently on an absurdly low drain circuit, and the VoltBeat technology blinks periodically to confirm the battery is still alive. It covers 90 to 1000 volts, survives drops that would finish off anything else, and carries Cat 4 at 1000 volts. The other bold call is that they removed the speaker. No beep here, just the tip glowing red. It's the favorite of inspectors and auditors, pulling it out of a chest pocket 50 times a day because there's nothing to switch on and nothing to remember. Where the Bosch speaks to your hand, this speaks purely to your eyes. And it's such a quiet colleague that it's almost comical. It spends the entire day in your pocket without saying a single word. That silence does mean it's no use for breaker hunting, where you leave a beeping tester in a socket and walk off to the board. Its real value sits elsewhere. By never depending on you remembering to switch it on, it protects you from your own lapses. We dropped several rungs on price, and the Neotech PM8908C still earns its place. You get an LED bar, a variable intensity alarm, 12 to 1000 volts, and a front torch, plus live and neutral discrimination by field strength. On neutral, it beeps slowly and glows green. On the live conductor, it goes hysterical and lights up red. Its moment of glory is so specific it's funny. Series wired Christmas lights. You slide the tip slowly along a string of hundreds of dead bulbs, and at the exact millimeter where the blown filament breaks the circuit, the alarm falls silent and hands you the fault. 30 seconds for what used to be 2 hours of pulling bulbs at random. The finish tells you it's the cheapest here, so keep it for the drawer at home where nothing touches it for the money. As a teaching tool, it's outstanding. Watching the LEDs climb as you close in shows you where the hot zone sits. We finish with the Proster AC4, which takes the classic budget detector problem and solves it with a button. It always starts in the safe 48 to 1000 volt range, and when you need to go after smaller circuits, you press the key and drop to 12 volts. Add auto power off, a torch, audible and visual alerts, and something expensive tools often skip. An LED that warns you when the cell is fading. It's the ideal instrument for anyone managing flats and handling everything themselves. You check whether the electric oven has supply, head down to the basement, switch modes, and verify the 24-volt transformer feeding the heating thermostat, all with one tool. Against the Neotech, it wins on control because it won't fire off at the router or the neighboring data cables. The pocket clip is fragile against heavy workwear, and the buzzer gets lost around running machinery, so treat it as a domestic tool rather than an industrial one. Let's line it all up. If you work in dust, water, and noise with ear defenders on, the Bosch GVD 1017 is the obvious call for its vibration and its sealing. If your days go on distribution boards in older buildings and you need to trust what it tells you, the PeakTech 1030 for its high threshold and slim Schuko-friendly tip. For fast repetitive inspections where forgetfulness is the enemy, the Fluke 2 AC, provided you get on with the silence. For HVAC lifts or mobile repair work where you need to measure as well as detect, the Kaiweets ST10 is a whole toolkit in a pen. If you want readings, laser, and torch in one versatile body, the Venlab VD200. For home and sensible DIY, the Proster AC4 for its sensitivity control and battery warning, and the Neotech PM8908C as the fairy light specialist and household checker for what it costs. All the links are in the description, in the same order as the video. Tell me in the comments which one you actually reach for, because opinions run hot on this one.